Hello and welcome to He Said, She Sang live on the interwebs. I'm Alex Stein.
I'm Amy Engelhardt, and I'm actually pretty much, what would you say, 20 feet away from Alex right now?
I am upstairs in our messy living room, which is filled with cat toys. And Amy is downstairs in the
The messy
recently
studio.
not as messy studio, which is filled with some cat toys, but
Which
not
is
as
filled with
not as
Amy
many,
toys.
perhaps.
That's right.
And in this show, I tell stories. Amy sings songs. We have a bunch of things that are brand new and fantastic for you guys. We're trying not to be on a delay because we're actually in different rooms, so it's a little bit trickier than it has been in the past. But we'll make it work somehow, I guess.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So without any further ado, hesitation, or fumferall, ladies and gentlemen, Amy Engelhardt.
Right. Oh, did we decide that I'm opening? I guess we did. All right, this is a completely new setup for me in terms of sound. All done in the interest of trying to make it better and more clear and hearable. So good luck to all of us. I'm going to do this tune to open because it's kind of a preface of what Alex is going to talk about. It was just a suggestion. Now things will never be the same. I asked a simple question, so I'm the one to blame. I never heard any barking, saw no signs of abuse, but as soon as we started sparking, oh baby, all hell broke loose. I let the dogs out, said the wrong thing to you. I let the dogs out. Oh, I made one big mistake and they came crashing through the gate. I let the dogs out and they'll never go back in. I didn't know that they were lurking, cooped up inside you all alone. I apologize, but that ain't working. Oh, baby, won't you throw me a bone? I let the dogs out, struck a nerve or two. I let the dogs out. I didn't see the harm, and now they're chomping on my arm. I let the dogs out, and they'll never go back in. You said you hadn't seen them since 1989 when your ex took the truck and was gone. But that bitch left one bitch out in the yard who invited all the neighbors' dogs to come and get it on. I don't really have to explain that, I think. Now I know what not to ask you. It'll be okay, I'm not afraid. But you gotta round up all the pups so we can go and get them spayed. Let the dogs out. Ah. Get the dogs out. Ah. This is way too hard and I don't have a yard. Let the dogs out. The one in charge is you. Get the dogs out. You're in charge. Yeah. Oh, I don't have the I should get that thing on my phone where it has the applause thing, which we've started doing. I don't have the applause thing. Oh well. Also, I can't respond to comments. So,
So does that mean that I'm going now?
yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
we say that I was just going to do one song and then you were going to
Did we say that? Perhaps we
do you
did.
want me to do another song?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
If we get too slick or professional, please stop us.
Yeah. That was Amy Engelhardt, and now here's me. So I've been doing this series of short stories, creative nonfiction and fiction about dogs, dog sled races, and mushing under the general rubric of Tales from the Trail. And I'll have a little bit more news about that towards the end here. But I did want to say that this is brand new. I've literally never done this before. I was trying to write something about in dog sled racing, there often are stretches where you have to go over frozen ice. And especially in the Iditarod, there's a section where it's 50 miles out across the Norton Bay. And that's a very dangerous and sort of precarious stretch. And people have gotten lost and turned around because you literally are on this frozen ice for like 8 or 9 or sometimes 12 hours. So this is called 50 Miles Across the Ice, and it is with apologies to Robert Service. Because again, we wanted to give you a little bit of a degree of difficulty with this. So this is 50 miles across the ice. In a biting wind on a chilly night, you'll be waiting on the shore with a battered sled and a line of dogs and a body worn and sore. By this time in the race, you have frost on your face and you tingle to your core. But when you get to me, I can plainly see that you are thirsty and want more. I'm the mighty bay, and I'm here to say you must yield to all my power. If you act with care, then your life I'll spare after torturing you for hours. But think you're smooth, make the wrong move, and I'll crush you 'neath my towers, made of ice and snow, creatures down below, ghosts to make you cower. There's a legend told round of a musher unsound whose dog team got lost in the bay. And on cold winter nights when the spirits alight, they are looking to make someone pay. The storms will storm on till the furies be gone and a victim they've chosen to slay. But if you make it through, if your dogs know what to do, then you can go on your way. So you take a breath and you say a prayer and you head out on the ice, and your lamp is on and the dogs are strong, and you're thinking, this is nice. Underneath you all seems solid, but snow crinkles like uncooked rice, and the berms are deep, but you dare not sleep, or else you'll pay the price. Then you hit a bump and you hear a thump and a creaking down below. Still the dogs run true, it's not up to you, and so you let them go. The winds start to howl and the dogs start to growl, and you can't see through the snow as the ancient gods take their promenades, chanting threats to lay you low. And you pass another landmark that you swear you've passed before. Are you headed east? You were headed north back when you were more cocksure. Still the dogs go round and you hear a sound that sounds like it's offshore. And you keep on going as it keeps on snowing, but these cracks you can't ignore. Your heart skips beats when the dogs want treats, with the ice beneath you lifting. Overflow abounds, there are whale-like sounds to make you feel short shrifting. Nasty subsets from years of regrets with the pack ice beneath you shifting. You keep on. You might never come home, left out there all alone on a floe that's slowly drifting. You're feeling cold and you cannot hold with the lights still getting darker. And as you realize that you blink your eyes, it's been a while since you've seen a trail marker. The dogs scratch and claw as you gee and haw. Could the differences be much starker? Then you take one last look and you pull up the hook, led by your very best barker. In the light of day, you could see your way, but that light ain't coming soon. So you persevere, hope that nothing's near as the clouds block out the moon. Don't let them appear 50 miles and you're clear to avoid this ghost platoon. But you've heard it said every year that the dead converge on this lagoon. You've lost track of time and you might lose your mind and the cold is becoming too much, but you trust in your team and you start feeling serene, leaning on them like a crutch. You see water ahead, you see water behind, and you realize your whole team's in Dutch, but the dogs run straight through. They'll take care of you like they always have in the clutch. Now the ghosts and the demons and all of your doubts are drifting away in the night, and the sound of the runners reminds you of summers when everything was all right. You're almost through and the ghosts don't want you, so you can move into dawn's light. And the clouds slowly break and your heart starts to ache. So much beauty and power and might. As your team leaves the ice and the checkpoint lights loom, few of your troubles remain, but you still have a feeling of whirling and reeling. Cracked ice is always a strain. As you stumble ahead, your dogs tumble towards bed. You can't lift the fog from your brain. In the end, you'll be you. Do what you need to do to convince yourself you're not insane. And whenever you're warm, when you're out of this storm where memories daren't lurk, you may recall you don't understand it at all. My mystical forces at work. So remember the ice and the ghosts and the gods, and do not approach with a smirk. We wait ever behind on the ice in your mind, driving each musher berserk. That is brand new, and I messed it up a little. Sorry about that. That's the way it goes. And now,
No one's gonna know.
Look, it's
Unless
Amy
you tell them.
Engelhardt. Amy, do you want to talk about anything? Do you want to? Should we get like commercial and self-promotional now?
Actually, I want to mention that you can probably see my piano in back of me. I can't mic it properly. That's why I'm not.
I see that they're socially distanced.
Piano, you'll see that there's Fisher Price little people on top of it who are socially distancing. I just wanted to mention that in case anyone was wondering if the world of Fisher Price is affected.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that this show is totally free, and we want it to be free, and we want everyone to enjoy it, especially if you are out of work, if you're struggling financially, if you feel like I've gone to 1 million shows in the past week and given them all money. That's cool. Just relax. Take your time. Just enjoy everything. But
We totally
if you are
get it.
working, if you are financially able, if you might have gone to a show this evening and paid $10 to get in, maybe throw that in the virtual tip jar that's up on the screen right now. If you are sitting at home drinking a beer, and we're not judging you, even though on the West Coast it's 3:13, and in Alaska it's even earlier. But if you are drinking a beer that you bought at the supermarket for $1, and otherwise you would have gone to, at a bar and paid $8 or $9 for a beer, maybe throw that difference into the virtual tip jar. Are you okay there?
I am. I'm sending you a text.
Oh, you're sending me a text?
Yes. So
I'm not going to be able to get that
so
text.
I can like privately send you messages because there's no way to do that.
Okay.
Because you and I are on camera all the time, and I don't want people to see how they already see how the sausage is made, but you know what I'm saying.
I wonder if the ringtone from my text is coming through on the broadcast.
I'm not hearing it.
All right. Well, then it's just me. Just me.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So yeah, what he said and what I sang.
Yeah. It's a little bit harder actually talking when we're not in the same room.
It is.
Who knew?
All right. I think that's it. If you sign up for my mailing list, which I think is something that will go across the crawl, I will send you a free MP3. It's true. Hey, look, it just came across the crawl. I'm going to do a tune literally that I just wrote. I'm a member of a kind of songwriters commune / collective, and this tune is due tomorrow. So I just uploaded the lyrics. We're doing this via Zoom, and so this will be the first time that anyone's heard it. Good luck. It's called Thomas. I never say what my songs are called actually before I play them, so there's another bonus. Okay. That's kind of weird. Oh, that's why. I was going to say you can't hear the bass note, but I pressed something by accident. Sorry. We can edit that out in post.
What are you doing here? What are you still doing here? Charlotte was crystal clear. Charlotte could not have been more clear. Nothing in the fridge has changed since you last opened the door. Nothing in your life has changed either. Are you Thomas? Or are you the ghost of Thomas? Which one am I here with tonight? Are you breathing? Or are you the ghost of breathing? Which one is gonna win the fight? Win the fight. Looks like it's you and me, but it was always you and me. Oh, 'cause she isn't coming back. She isn't ever coming back. Everything you did for Charlotte was for love, only love. Everything I did was not really. Are you Thomas? Are you the ghost of Thomas? Which one am I here with tonight? Are you breathing? Or are you the ghost of breathing? Which one is gonna win the fight? 'Cause I can't stay behind this wall forever, waiting for you to give up on you and Charlotte together. Are you Thomas? Or are you the ghost of Thomas? Which one is gonna win the fight? Which one is gonna lose tonight? Win the fight. Win the fight. Are you Thomas tonight?
I played that for Alex, and he said, and I said, well, I guess you can't tell whether the singer is a ghost themselves, or dead, or just a neighbor. And Alex said, oh, well, that's always the question in songs: is it a neighbor, or is it someone dead behind the walls? All right. Honk. This is for my homies in New York, who I miss terribly.
honk. And I think of you pretty much every day. And this is a song about interborough. No, it's not even interborough, it's tri state love issues. Honk. Every time I wanna see you, I gotta pay a toll. Going in, going out, going broke, and it's getting old. Every time I wanna hold you, I gotta sit and wait. I spend my time with AM, FM, XM, and none on a date. If I lived in the city, we'd be kissing now. Dinner, maybe a show. But I'm stuck in New Jersey. Bridge and tunnel, baby. You're my bridge and tunnel guy. For you I span and channel. Room, cross, and funnel. Exhaust fumes get me high. Oh, I'm going berserk and I might as well be working for the Port Authority. Bridge and tunnel, baby, till the day I die. You used to play for Rutgers. I used to be a fan. We used to spend Sundays in the park in the back of your van. Then you moved into the city. Got a job with the Mets. Picking up balls and bats, and that's as good as it gets. And as for me, I'm still cleaning people's teeth. But it's your smile I want to see. And I'm stuck in New Jersey. Bridge and tunnel, baby. You are my bridge and tunnel guy. Cross and funnel, bring cross and funnel. Exhaust fumes get me high. Oh, the radio's walking and I'm passing. We honking on the way from Tenafly. Bridge and tunnel, baby, till the day I die. Stuck under the Hudson in the mud since you've been gone. I keep hoping that you'll find a way to thank me. Precious time and more that I'm just pouring in the drink. And in the Lincoln, I've been thinking about the Yankees. Okay, so I always take a pause right here because as someone from New Jersey, I have to stop on the bridge. You know, normally I'd be hearing uproarious laughter right now. I don't even hear it from upstairs, but that's probably because Alex has heard that joke like 1,700 times. Million. So I'm coming to see you, but we gotta make a change. I don't mean the kind of change involving coins, I mean rearrange. 'Cause you gotta make an effort. You gotta pull some weight. So every other weekend, sweetie, meet me in the Garden State. And be my... I literally just burped. Bridge and tunnel, baby. I guess that's a salute to New Jersey. My bridge and tunnel guy. Cross that puddle. I am the one'll make everything alright. In my low neck sweater, nobody loved you better than the gal from Tenafly. Bridge and tunnel, baby. I'll be waiting on the other side. Honk. Seriously, where else are you going to get a show where someone burps in a song and, well, cops to it? And I don't even know if you heard it, but it happened, so.
Oh, they heard it.
Did you hear it upstairs?
No.
I mean, I don't think I would have said anything if I'd farted. Although that would be appropriate for New Jersey as well.
That's good to know. So I wanted to just mention really briefly There's a bunch of people watching that I wanted to say hi to who have commented on the comments on YouTube. David Lassen, Kevin Albinder,
Yay!
Alex and Dennis, Jacob, Alicia, and Martin Lewison.
Yay, Martin.
And yeah.
Yeah, not yay for anyone else, just saying Martin.
No, yay for everyone. We're an equal opportunity cheering squad for anyone who's watching, I'm going to say.
I can't believe I just burped and like, I'm not even drinking yet.
Yet. The afternoon is young. David Lassen says, Amy, will you settle for a virtual groan? Although it's not entirely clear to me if that's from the stopping on the bridge or from burping.
Or from the just general performance.
Yeah, well,
general performance!
Yeah. So.
Reporting for duty.
I should tell another story now?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Stein, who's there.
No, the other way. Yeah.
There.
No, other way.
There.
Yeah, that's good.
He's
Ordinarily, we would have like a producer who was switching all of this stuff, but that person doesn't exist, so it's just me. Sorry. This is one of my favorite pieces. I don't do it all that often, but I just wanted to do it, and also Amy requested it, so there you go. This is called The Wobbly Persistence of Fifth Grade Memory. Looking back on the spring of fifth grade, it's the suddenness that's shocking. On Monday morning, none of us knew or cared, but on Monday afternoon, Jason Raleigh showed all of the boys one of his father's girly mags, not a porno mag, but the kind with scantily dressed women in ridiculous semi-sporting or semi-glamorous poses. And this particular issue featured a 6-page pictorial of women wearing fishnet stockings. It was like a bomb had gone off in our schoolyard, knocking everyone off balance. By Tuesday, the awareness of female legs manifested itself in my fifth grade class. Suddenly, every boy was an expert on good legs versus bad legs. We debated the harsh ankle, the soft curve of the calf, the indentation of the knee, and the supple, forbidden promise of the thigh. We claimed knowledge of ideal leg curve, size, softness, and density. We held an impromptu luncheon symposium on muscle strength of female runners. There were heated arguments about skirts and dresses, and our only common ground was the miniskirt, which we all recognized as the nuclear option of female clothing, something that instantly rendered all opposition futile. And when we looked around, female legs were suddenly everywhere, in movies, on TV and magazines, even on the streets. And maybe they had been there all along, but we sure as hell hadn't noticed them. And while many of our female classmates still had spindly stick legs, some were changing and becoming more worldly and grown up. A few popular boys said that they had touched girls' legs, even butts. Jimmy Haviland claimed he'd done more. Bravado makes men stake weird claims. Weirder still for 11-year-old boys, some almost 12. Looking back, it's clear that these boasts on Tuesday were exaggerated at best. But if Monday and Tuesday were life-changing, what happened Wednesday was exponentially more mind-blowing. Because on Wednesday, the leg discussion narrowed and focused. We no longer wanted to discuss legs in general. Suddenly, all anyone wanted to talk about was Claire Reingold's legs. That's not strictly true. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, we were only interested in one of her legs, the fake one. Now, I'm not a neurologist. I can't pinpoint where knowledge originates, but it doesn't take a scientist to realize that by the end of lunch that Wednesday, every boy in school knew Claire had a fake leg. Now, being boys, we were obsessed with details. Some said it was a lion attack. Others claimed that she had fallen off the roof. But we all agreed about the infection that had turned her skin green, the 4 failed surgeries, and the eventual amputation performed with a special surgical circular saw. We loved the idea of how easily that saw could cut through Claire's bone, like one of those late-night TV ads for a knife that cuts through cardboard as easily as it slices tomatoes. So we would stare at Claire going down the hallway and then argue with great certainty that far eclipsed any actual comprehension about which leg was real and which was fake. And forget Team Edward versus Team Jacob. If you wanted real conflict, look back at my elementary school, which suddenly found itself divided into Team Right Leg versus Team Left. We discussed exactly where the leg ended and the prosthesis began, and we loved that word, prosthesis, which we suddenly all knew and pronounced with careful, fetishistic glee, as if the word had come down from the heavens, courtesy of God himself. Fights would sometimes erupt because we were certain. And we each knew instinctively, and we marveled at the stupidity of those on the other side. But we never questioned whether we should even be having this debate at all. We never thought of Claire's privacy or her feelings or how we'd all suddenly become so certain. Because the facts all lined up. Her life, which we had previously ignored, now fit perfectly into our leg-based narratives. She never rode a bike. She wouldn't go swimming. She was usually excused from gym class, and she didn't wear skirts. Sometimes Claire would catch us staring at her, and she'd smile, enigmatic, carefully weighing whether to say something, and then turning around just to leave us to our arguments. She knew that she had the singular power to declare Team Left Leg or Team Right victorious. But like a one-legged King Solomon, she wisely refused to make that choice. So the boys would all huddle together, daring each other to think of ways to prove once and for all which leg was fake. We hatched dozens of plans and then chickened out before bringing any of them to fruition. Claire's family moved away before the start of 6th grade, rendering the arguments moot. Some of my classmates moved on, becoming breast men, and that really should have been the end of this story. Except my friend Greg loves strip clubs. And last year, back when flights were flying more regularly, he missed a connecting flight and he had to stay overnight in the middle of Kansas. So he took a cab to his hotel and he chatted up the cabbie, which is how he found himself in an almost empty gentleman's club in the middle of nowhere. And Claire Reingold was one of the dancers there, if by dancer you mean stripper. She now called herself Candy Carlisle with little hearts dotting the eyes. And Greg saw Claire/Candy and her surgically enhanced breasts, and he might never have given her face a second glance, but she recognized him and gave him a private dance on the house for old time's sake. She explained that she had set off for Hollywood after college, but she ran out of money halfway across the country. She loved the corn-fed enthusiasm Kansan show for strippers who are not required in most flyover states to be as busty or beautiful as those on the coasts. And as she stretched out first one leg and then another, she could see Greg struggle and strain to see where flesh ended and prosthesis, that word again, began. But he couldn't, not on either leg. She watched him switch from Team Right Leg to Team Left and then back again. So Claire grinned and she charged him for the next dance and the one after that. 4 dances, $105 in tips, and 6 drinks later, Greg found himself marveling at the miracles of modern prosthetic science, which clearly had come a long way since we were all in 5th grade. He worked up the courage to articulate the sticky question that fueled our dreams and kept us up at night, the question none of us had the nerve to ask as 11-year-olds, some almost 12. Which leg of yours is fake. And Claire smiled, and she said that both of her legs are real. Greg didn't believe her, so she let him touch them, examine each one, and finally he said, well, why did you let us all think that you had a fake leg? You must have known what we believed in 5th grade. And she explained, over 2 more dances and $50 more in tips, that she'd always felt invisible growing up. She wasn't one of the cool kids or one of the brains or the jocks. She wasn't rich or poor. She was just average. Except for her allergy to chlorine, which kept her out of the pool, and the balance problems that kept her out of gym class and off bikes. And she wouldn't know until she consulted a nutritionist at age 19 that her diet growing up hadn't included enough potassium, and as soon as she started eating bananas and mushrooms, her balance problems just went away overnight. But growing up, she felt invisible, ignored by everyone until that one day. And she asked Greg, isn't it better to be noticed for something fake than to be ignored for something that's real? And this logic is ridiculous. It doesn't hold up. But Greg said there in the club, with the music thumping and the drinks flowing, it made a weird kind of sense. You know, as long as you don't think about it too much. Kind of like our 5th grade debates, which started on a Wednesday in the spring when bravado made 30 of us 11-year-old boys, some almost 12, declare to the world that henceforth and forever, we were all leg men. I vaguely hear Amy laughing somewhere. Oh, there she is.
Well, I know that isn't actually called legmen. I know it's called like the wobbly persistence of 3rd grade memory or something, right?
Yes.
But I call it legmen because, hello.
It's not called legmen because I don't want to, give away the punchline at the end.
Right. Right. And no one would ever suspect.
Who would possibly think that? Who could be so warped as to think something like that? My screen is reversed, so I keep thinking that my head is tilted, and I tilt it the other way, and then it tilts
the other
more.
way. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's only a concern when it's the both of us on the screen, though.
Okay. Elaine Lucas is here. So hi, Elaine.
Lucas, yay!
We hope to be able to see you in person someday soon. We hope to be able to see anyone in person someday soon.
We saw 2 people in person last night. We went to exchange puzzles for sausage.
But on a socially acceptable 6 foot.
If Kevin is watching, I exchanged half of the sausage that you sent for 2 jigsaw puzzles. But I included a care package of mustard, so it's all good. They're former New Yorkers.
Good.
It's okay.
It's all good.
All right, should I do 2 tunes?
You should do 2 tunes, but do we want to do more promotional falderall?
More floggishness?
Yeah.
People have actually sent us some funding, which is awesome. I know, it's amazing. In this crazy world that we in which we live in which we live in. And I know people say it's in which we're living, but it just sounds wrong to me. I'm sorry.
I am going to have Paul McCartney's doctorate in English literature taken away.
Okay.
Because apparently I believe I have that power.
Yeah, okay.
I did want to...
Yes, you can join Alex's mailing list, as you can see on the screen, and you can join my mailing list at my website. There's a form you can click in and get a free MP3. Also, anyone who sends us $10 or more today gets a free download of my first album called Not Gonna Be Pretty. Some of you already have it, I know it. Some of you have it twice now.
I did want to say
I can't. Is it because I don't have glasses on that I can't see that that's a lowercase I?
It's a lowercase I
okay.
On the beginning of IR music.
Yeah. All right. It looks like it
looks like a schwa.
It looks like an L, which would be.
It's not an L. It's a lowercase I. IR music. Amy-Engelhardt.
Amy
Again, we know a lot of people are struggling financially. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are hurting. If that is you, please feel no obligation, nothing. There's literally nothing you have to do right now except enjoy yourself.
No. And if you're an artist, I recommend that you apply for the grants that you can find, because I've gotten 3 of them so far to cover the employment that I have lost so far for April and May, and
June
will continue
and
to lose.
July.
So there you have it. Thank you.
Oh, someone wanted to know what that painting is behind me, and that painting is, my mom did that. It's one of my favorite things in the house that I grew up in, where they used to live until a few years ago. And I'm reasonably sure they're not watching this because they don't really understand how computers work.
I looked it up on the Wachovia.
Yeah. Let's have some more music from Amy Engelhardt. Woo!
Don't worry about it. My relatives usually don't watch either. And they can use the computer. All right. Knew that I should visit, knew I should go, but what would I say to you? I didn't know. Sat with all the questions, wishing it weren't so. There's nothing useful I could bring. Then I thought of one thing. Witness is all I can do. All I can do is be here for you. Witness is all I can do. All I can do is be here for you. I can't bear the weight for you. Pain can't be transferred, but I can hold you in silence, give you my word. Taking all you are today, you will be seen and heard. You are more than just the fear. You are now, you are here. Witness was all I can do. All I can do is be here for you. Witness is all I can do. All I can do is be here for you. And when I'm called to testify, when I am called to testify, when I'm called to testify, I will say, witness was all I could do. That I was a witness to the wonder of you. Witness was all I could do. All I could do is be here for you. You were. You are. You were. You are. You were. Thank you. Thank you, Alex, from upstairs. I can hear it. All right, I'm going to do another completely new tune. I think I premiered this last week 2 weeks ago, because I wrote it 2 weeks ago. There you have it. I'm a coward, sad but true. I can't do what I gotta do. Sitting sour, a stupid joke. When it matters, I'm gonna choke. So you gotta cut bait, leave town, and don't look back when the walls fall down. Make tracks, get out. Oh, make a move, make a big move, make a huge fucking move, make a really big move. Do it now. Make a move, make a big move, make a huge fucking move, make a really big move. Do it now. Make a move. I'm a weasel, at least I know. I work hard not to let it show. And this us thing, it doesn't work. But I don't want to be the jerk. So be brave, go first. These roles can't be reversed. I am the worst. Oh, make a move, make a big move, make a huge fucking move, make a really big move. Do it now. Make a move, make a big move, make a really big move, make a huge fucking move. Do it now. I'm very impressive or misunderstood. Passive aggressive, a worm in the wood. Just take the controls and please do what I should. Make a move. Make a big move. Make a move, make a big move, make a huge fucking move, make a really big move. Do it now. Oh, make a move, make a big move, make a huge fucking move, make a really big move. Do it now. Make a move.
All right, so I don't know if you can see the comments, Amy,
No, I can't.
but we actually had a request.
Uh-oh.
So I wanted to ask you what you think of this,
I think I
not
know
to
what
put
it
you on the
is if
spot or anything. But Alex Alexander wanted to know if you're going to sing Uncle Rudy.
Oh my gosh, wow. I hadn't planned on it, but I can for the next, how much time do we have? I have time.
Well,
Yeah.
I could do this and then you could do that, or if you want, you could just do it now.
And then you want to close?
Yeah.
Because then you can talk about your, okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Yes, I will do it.
And I will fill time while you figure out how to do it or find the music.
No,
or...
it's here. I haven't
Oh,
done
it's
it in a
right there?
while, so, but I love this tune, so.
And I love this tune, and apparently Alex Alexander loves this tune too. So this is for you, Alex and Dennis.
Uncle Rudy, kinda moody, didn't like hugging, looked away, suddenly prematurely gray,
train to Manhattan every day. Uncle Rudy, kinda snooty, never committed, never wed. In his apartment, 2 twin beds. Everyone snickered, wish I'd said, hey, Uncle Rudy, where do you keep your heart? Hey, Uncle Rudy, I'm a lot like you. I'm the oddball too, Uncle Rudy. Uncle Rudy. Rudy's brother met my mother. He saw the charm inside her curls. Rudy was never into girls. Rudy lived in a different world. So he did it. Rudy hid it. Once in the city by surprise, outside a bar with glittered guys. Rudy looked up and caught my eye. Hey, Uncle Rudy, where do you keep your heart? Hey, Uncle Rudy, who do you let get in? Why do you look so thin? Uncle Rudy, Uncle Rudy. Uncle Rudy, live like a secret, close the shades. Weaker and weaker, scabs and spades, suffered in silence. Oh, Uncle Rudy. You were a product of your time, serving a sentence for no crime. And I'm so, so sorry, Uncle Rudy.
Woo! Woo! Oh. And Pablo is here and says he loves that song too. Thank you for singing that, Amy.
Thank you. It's another thing that decimated New York.
Another thing that decimated New York. Alrighty, back to me. So I did a series of 14 Tales from the Trail right before the Iditarod sled dog race a couple months ago. And they were all stories about dogs, mushing, and sled dog races from a variety of perspectives. There were a few told from the dogs' perspectives. There was one told from the perspective of a river. There was a couple from the perspective of mushers, and one from the perspective of a school teacher. Actually, I think there might have been 2 from the perspective of school teachers. And they were really, really fun to do, and I had a blast doing them, and people really, really responded to them. And I since have written 4 more, and I am here today. I'm here right now today to tell you that I am collecting all of those into a book that is going to be available before the end of this month. So that's in 2 or 3 weeks. That'll be available. There's also going to be an ebook and an audiobook in case you don't actually want to read, you just want to hear these things, which I totally understand. And before I read this last piece, which also is new and also is going to be in the book, I just wanted to say that these are legitimately frightening and scary times. So we want everyone to take care of yourself, stay healthy, take care of each other. We both, Amy and I, feel very strongly that one of the most important things that art and that artists can do is to encourage a sense of community and encourage people to realize that we are all human, we are all doing our best to survive, often under very difficult circumstances, and keep that in mind. And wash your hands, for God's sake. So after I wrote and recorded all of these stories about dogs and stories that centered around dogs and stuff, I was having a conversation with our tuxedo cat, Bettles P. Kotzebue, who's named after not one but two places in Alaska, Bettles and Kotzebue. And she said, I don't understand what this thing is with all the dog stuff. And I said, well, honey, I love dogs. And she said, well, I think there needs to be a rebuttal. And I would gladly give you the rebuttal. I can't write because I'm a cat and I have no opposable thumbs, but I would give you this rebuttal and you could, take it down, transcribe it. So this is a feline rebuttal to all of those dog stories. You want to do what now? You want to watch dogs? You want to watch dogs on your TV and on your computer and on your phone? Well, that just seems rude. You have a mini jaguar right here in the house with you, right? Have you seen me hunt down and kill fleas? Have you seen me go after the spiders? Are you unaware of my prowess at running up and down the stairs at 4 a.m. for no apparent reason? Has the wonder of my clean fur and soft, shiny coat gone completely unnoticed and unappreciated? It's bad enough. You go outside and you come back smelling of the neighbor's dogs. You think I don't know that you pet her 3 or 4 times a week? Maybe that's why I don't run to greet you at the door. Maybe that's why I stay here in the corner, eyeing you disdainfully while I lick the catnip toy. Sure, watch the start of this race. Go ahead, watch as much as you want. Trade clever quips with other fans online. Go ahead, do that. Do all of that. You know why cats don't pull sleds? Because we know better. I mean, sure, dogs are fine. They make good beasts of burden. They're strong. They're big. Hey, I even liked when you had a dog visit that last summer for a month. I mean, I didn't at first, but eventually, when I swatted him enough and learned who he was, and he learned who was boss, it was all fine. Why are you obsessed with these things? You know what happens if you put 14 cats in harness? It's not pretty, and you're probably not going to live. But sure, go ahead. Do that dog thing. I'll be over here, watching you, waiting for you to fall asleep so I can pounce on you and run up and down the length of the house screeching. For all of your talk of your superior brain, you certainly forget easily how much better cats are than dogs. Dogs. Going 1,000 miles with a sled? Frankly, the whole thing makes me tired. But you go ahead. You watch. I'm going to nap for 14 hours and sit on your lap until you feed me. I may be demanding, but at least I'm consistent, right? I'll just let those dogs out. You let them out. Let them go out into the cold and the snow and the ice. Let them run 1,000 miles if that's what they feel they need to do to prove to you that they are somehow worthwhile. Meanwhile, you and me will be just fine inside, warm and safe. I'll be right here in my favorite box with the crinkly paper, purring and dreaming of fluffy white mice instead of fluffy white snow. And you'll be there doing, well, whatever it is that you do. No offense, but I'm just not interested enough to learn about it. Maybe later, I'll rub against your legs. I'll remind you that you may never drive a sled 1,000 miles in the snow, but it is still possible for you to lay down beside me, stretch out, and dream of your own giant, fluffy, white toy mouse. And that is pretty much our show. I thought Amy might come up here, but apparently she didn't, so I'm going to try to pop her back onto the screen. There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Engelhardt.
I just realized that I need to write a theme song to open and close our thing, maybe. With, you know, like he said, she sang, then other stuff happened.
I love that.
Pretty great. All right, we're gonna always try and wrap this up in an hour because it's been suggested that that's pretty much what people do these days, and I know for me that's my tolerance on a Zoom call. Then I start popping bubbles, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. So we wanted to thank you guys again for popping in and for watching and listening, and just one more time. We don't have to talk about it, but I just wanted to put that back up on the screen. We really so much appreciate all of you guys, and miss you so much. The ones of you that we know, the ones of you that we don't know, we'd like you very much and would like to meet you.
Friends we've yet to meet, I call them.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this again, I don't know, maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. And we've been talking about having a theme. And of course, that theme would be animals.
Yeah. But we have like so many animal stories. So who knows?
All right. If you're on the East Coast, go have dinner. If you're on the West Coast, go do something else or have dinner or do whatever the hell you want to do.
Have early dinner or dessert lunch, I guess.
Oh my God! Which reminds me, we have cake.
All right, so we should stop talking and eat cake.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. Phenomena. Bye. All right, we're done.